With the CIBC Smart Account,
So the time of the year has come at last. It's the Christmas season. Things are looking bright, and the Feline Fine is here tonight. Today we're joined with two other guild leaders alongside myself with a lot of announcements this year. How about you both introduce yourselves and the like?
Hello everyone, I am Clovis. I am the guild leader for Gold Horse of the Feline Fine, and not much else there.
I am Idolin, and I'm the Order of Souls guild leader.
All right. We have a lot of announcements this time around, and normally we'd have trailers ready and the like, but I'm gonna be honest, I think it's probably better if we just simply get into it and give you guys the straight news of what's going on. Firstly, though right now we're not on the right YouTube channel, we are going to be moving to the Feline Fine YouTube channel for all Feline Fine related things. We're going to be posting there more often, teasers and the like. We're going to be starting to post there as often as we can. Uh, we're going to probably be giving access to the channel to all the guild leaders, which is probably an amazing idea and won't end poorly at all. Basically, we're just gonna let anyone upload anything they want there that's a guild leader. Is that a good idea? Well, the fine wasn't built on good ideas, and I'm not gonna let that change now. uh, Secondly, and this one's regarding the Minecraft server. I'm pretty sure we're all big fans of that. Um, for the sake of this, I'm going to probably walk my PNG self out of this area because the truth is, we have been sent something by my more blocky version of myself. So I'll let them take the lead. All right.
And while Mary is doing that, if anyone is watching this, please, for the love of God, behave yourselves in chat.
Even if you don't, We'll just take care of it ourselves. In other words, behave in chat or else. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm gonna walk out of the room now and let my blocky self take over. Okay. Now, this is, well, from the future, the far future, if you couldn't tell. This is me trying to warn you guys about something. As you know, the world is ending soon, and uh, in the future, you guys survive, yes. But that is due to some uh, innovation, per se. You're going to be asked to go to a festival on the 6th of January. When you're asked to do so, I expect you all to be at the floating islands, what I believe you call the Area of Abyss. Um, yes, I'm aware that it's a big surprise that I'm alive and somehow sending a message through time and space, but that is simply, well, rudimentary science for me by now. Uh, Nonetheless, on the other side, eventually my past self will form the carbon foundation, and I hope you're all aware that the future is in fact made with carbon. So you heard her. Okay, wow, that is not supposed to be what's on the screen. Bit of technical difficulties having that show up on the screen, but you heard her. I guess in the future, there's going to be some sort of event on the 6th of January. Do we have a time yet? You're gonna have to wait further and find out. All I know is that on January 6th, I'll be there, and I hope you will be too. Uh, Looking further in our itinerary, we have been working on a little something. Now, unfortunately, no one's really returned our calls, which it isn't from not trying. I think both Idlin and Clovis can attest. We've been trying very hard to get this running, get the ball rolling, but the people who've been returning our calls haven't been the nicest. Uh, we've been in talks for a while
Yep.
of forming a network of servers. That way, you get access to the servers and the like that you want to have access to without the need to, like, I find it difficult to find a server that isn't like properly inviting to my style of people. So the goal of this network is to find groups that cover different media lanes and work with them, doing like that have similar cultures to us. Because like, let's say someone wants to talk about, I don't know, the amazing digital circus and the feline fine. People might talk about it, sure, but like, wouldn't it be better to just find a different server to partner with a similar culture, a similar personality, a similar like style, so you guys don't have to go digging for it and risk running into a server where you just don't really seem to get on there very well. So the goal of the network is to find that
Yeah.
and grow the find exponentially and help with that.
Essentially, going the fine while also branching out and avoiding clogging the main server.
Yeah, yeah, because we don't want and also if we only from a more statistical point of view, if we only partner with other Sea of Thieves servers, we're partnering with servers that have the thing that we want you guys to be doing here in the Fine, which I don't care if activity isn't perfect in the Fine. I'm very calm with that sort of thing. It's fine. But at the same time, it's probably more beneficial for all parties if we branch out for partnership.
Yeah.
Now, we've been having some less fun. We've been having some less fun announcements lately, I'll admit. Like, these were all statistical, other than Minecraft server, they were all statistical changes, more like business savvy stuff. The next ones are all really fun. Like, the last three announcements are the most fun ones in the entire event. Um, Now, I'm glad I have co-hosts for this because I'm not familiar with all the games on display, and I think all games should have their fair shot of winning and have a someone speak to them. So, as you know, we have many
Okay.
game categories in the Fine, but we believe it's time to add some more. Now, remember, if something doesn't win this tournament, that doesn't immediately mean it won't ever become a game category. It just means it won't become a game category right away. We're going to be looking at the statistics of this tournament, and we're going to use that to decide what gets in the future, what gets in now, and what probably never gets in. Um, I'm gonna fix this background a bit. Okay, so I don't know who invented OBS, who invented normal OBS, but like someone really needs to add a lock. Oh, there is a lock feature. Convenient. Uh,
Oh,
and it doesn't work. Anyways, so we're doing a game category tournament. First of all, is we're going to give a brief talk about each game, probably talk about why they should be added. I'll start with Smash Bros. Because I've played my fair share of it in my time. I feel like Smash Bros. Is a great community game, and my only con of it being added is its limit to 4 to 8 players, and it's very limited one style of gameplay. But I feel like overall it's a very rudimentary and good game to be added to the fine. And I feel like it could also add some good groups to faction roles. Moving into Arc Raiders, I feel like the best person to talk about that would be Idlin.
The Arc Raiders is, of course, a PvPvE extraction shooter, probably the fastest growing game out right now. I personally play it. I play a lot of it. I know that you could build very good like friendships with it. I built a few already. I just think it'd be a great addition here, and that's pretty much
I know
all.
nothing about Overwatch, so you might need to one of you might need to carry the torch here for that.
I do not play Overwatch.
I won't say anything good about
Look,
Overwatch.
if you guys like Overwatch, I know a lot of people do like Overwatch. It's not my cup of tea, but like if it wins the tournament, I'm a woman of my word. Same thing with Marvel Rivals, though I know Marvel Rivals is slightly more popular. No Man's Sky, I can speak a bit about No Man's Sky. It is a one of the biggest success stories in gaming, and it recently won Best Ongoing, I think it was. I think No Man's Sky would be a good addition. I don't know much about it. Part of me wishes Warsmith was here because she's played a lot of it recently. Fallout 76 is a good
Mm,
addition, I think, but also, one of the limitations is, it's, I don't know, it's fun. Fallout 76 is fun, though it's not crossplay in the way you'd wished it to be. So, I do think it's a good
I
addition from the raid point of view and the like.
I can speak on Team Fortress 2 because I have many hours on that. So Team Fortress 2 is a very, I wouldn't say it's a like one of the older shooters, but it's definitely a classic game because think of it this way: Team Fortress 2 is one of those games you would play growing up, and I would say the one limitation to it would be that sometimes the community is pretty, I won't say toxic, but it can be pretty competitive. But if we're just doing it like between ourselves, it is a very fun game, even if updates can be slow.
Now, Gary's mod, I'll speak on Gary's mod. Gary's mod is endless possibility, but the issue with that is obviously finding a thing to do. I have had a lot of fun with Gary's mod in my time. I've played Dark RP and the like. The main issue is we can't exactly moderate within it, so if you do vote for that, be aware we won't have any grounds or any moderation. Like, if you see something you don't like, if you go on a server or something or someone, that's not on us. Just as if you run into someone bad on Sea of Thieves, that's not on us. I've had a lot of fun with it, but I will warn you that the community can be pretty toxic. Now to the other side of the bracket, a lot of games that I know less about. This side of the bracket is, I'm going to be honest, odds are it's being swept by Halo, but um, I'll start with Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is a big franchise. It's one of the more popular franchises. It's like one of those franchises that like the fans of it are completely chill, very like I've met a lot of Monster Hunter fans that, and we have quite a few on the fine, and I feel like they're going to be very passionate about their game winning and completely chill about it too. Uh, I don't know any problems with Monster Hunter being added.
I will say this: Monster Hunter is very much a skill-based game, but because we already have fans of it in here, I would say they are already very much aware of that.
Warframe. Now, Warframe isn't personally for me. I've been trying to get into Warframe. It's a decently fun game, and I know you fans of it in the fine. Uh, Once again, if it gets added, woman of my word, I'll add it. That's kind of my deal with all of these. You know what I mean? Like even the ones I personally dislike, because like I don't think my personal opinion. It's all your personal opinion. I'm just giving a quick rundown of like pros and cons of each, being genuine, giving them all time in the spotlight, especially for like. There's one soon that I'm going to be giving a very detailed plea deal on why you guys should give it a shot. And that is me trying to tempt bias, yes, but you guys have just as much control of the poll over as I do.
I can speak for Stardew
Yeah,
Valley and bring
sure.
that up. So I can actually speak for both Stardew and
Yeah,
Terraria. So Stardew's up first. So Stardew Valley, as someone who has played way too much of this game, it is absolutely a game that you can just play with up to four
it's 8
people,
now, actually.
including yourself, and just really, huh? Damn, scratch that then. You can play with 7 other people along with yourself, so 8 people. You can just play, you can chill, you can just enjoy living the life of a farmer trying to get stuff off the ground. And there's plenty of NPCs you can interact with. And because each of the NPCs is unique, there's also plenty of drama between the NPCs. In fact, there are some NPCs you can also romance. And for our furry members, which I know y'all, considering we are most of the guildies are also furries, there are also furries in our community. I know y'all. There's also mods, and thankfully mod the game is pretty simple. But there are also mods that allow you to make your character or even just the NPCs furries. And the good thing about this game is it has a very, very large mod community. So there's something for everyone in here. And then there's Terraria. Terraria is, I wouldn't say it's like a 2D version of Minecraft because it is much more extensive. But Terraria is one of those games where you can either chill or fight whatever you want because it has both, like Minecraft, it has both like survival and creative modes, and it's one of those, and it's a bit more of a pain to set up from what I've heard, but you can also do multiplayer in this game and just hang out with your friends and casually travel to the underworld and fight demons. There's that. You also get to fight up what is essentially a god in the late game or end game. So there's that as well if you're
It's not
into
like it
that.
having an ending is one of the
All in all,
limitations,
both,
but also at the same time, it's still a very good
yeah,
game and has a
yeah.
arguably more active
So
modding
yeah,
community and it's easier to mod than Stardew.
yeah. So yeah.
Um,
Both of these games are very good, and it all depends on what people prefer for when they
Now,
want.
remember when I said I'm going to try and afflict your biases for one of them? Yeah, this is that one. Astroneer is one of those games that like when you start playing, you're gonna have no idea what to do. You're going to treasure that feeling eventually of like figuring stuff out. Because at first, if you approach it like any other game, you're kind of approaching it in a wrong sort of way because it's going to lead you into kind of getting frustrated with it and quitting. That's kind of the experience with like that happened to me at first. I only stuck to it because I was playing with a friend, and that's kind of like the big flaw of the game. Because if you approach it like any other game, you're kind of going to wind up feeling a bit upset. The fun of the game is researching things, trying to figure out the goal by your own, maybe occasionally looking up optimization guides, and like the thing about Astroneer is you can do pretty much whatever with it. Like the entire planet, you can, if you want to, you can mine pretty much the entire planet down to the core structures. You can do a lot of stuff with this game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time because it's just experimenting with it and playing it with people, seeing how people play, seeing because like and recently they released a new automation update and a DLC released along with it. Uh, I think personally, if you're going to vote for any game on this list due to our opinions, Astroneer is very high up there because it's the perfect multiplayer game because you could play with, I don't know the limit of people, but you can play with a lot of people. You could all live on your own planet for all you want. Even you can rent a server, do cross-platform with that, and just have like different people live, have research bases on each planet, do whatever you want. It's like it's kind of I could see theoretically someone playing this the same way the Minecraft server is being played with like resource trades between planets and all of that. I feel like that would be incredibly fun, actually. And even if it doesn't win, I'm going to peer pressure the staff team into that.
I mean, hey, you got my vote.
Don't Starve Together is amazing. I won't deny that. Um, Don't Starve Together is a really fun game, very moddable. It's a bit. It kind of falls in the same issue where games like Smash Bros. Fall into, where you play it and it's the same play style, but it's also like one run. It's a not a roguelike, but it's still you die, you kind of reset the world. It's fun. It's got some really nice features. Got a bunch of characters with even more modded characters, and it's got one of the more active modding communities. Um, Hang on, because Halo's coming up. Unless one of you two volunteers to talk about Halo, I think I actually need to message someone to preach about Halo.
I can talk about it a bit. I played it before.
Uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna
So,
see if we can.
Halo. Go ahead.
Uh, there's someone that I do think would be perfect to uh talk about Halo.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, who wants to talk about Roblox? Because Roblox is like one of those ones that I've said no to adding Roblox in the past. I'm gonna be honest, I've genuinely said no to it, but like at the same time, it's
Oh, I'll spare you the disdain of talking about it, and I'll do that sacrifice. So, Roblox. Anyone who's grown up in the era of technology knows what this is, but if a lot of you are clinically online, which I am not afraid to admit I sometimes am, um, y'all will know there's been recent. uh, To avoid anything on Mary's channel, let's just say drama surrounding this game, or well, game post, I guess I should say, recently. Do not get me wrong, Roblox is still fun. There's still plenty of games you can have fun with, especially classical games, but let's just say people have issues with Roblox and both the CEO of the company and its developers.
hang on,
I
I moved the person that's going to preach about Halo to break room, by the way. But yeah, Roblox has its
okay,
pros, Roblox has its cons. It's definitely like the most controversial game on the list, I'll be honest. If
yeah.
it wins, I'll add it with gritted teeth because like th- this is stuff decided by staff, and we kind of decide on Roblox like we decided after the drama started, but not as it like got this bad. This is like a list decided by staff. Like I forget how long ago. How long ago was it? I don't know. It's a number. It was
I
like
generally I
a quarter
genuinely
of a
do not
year or
remember.
something ago. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
move the person talk about Halo in. All right, you guys ready for someone to preach about Halo?
let's do this.
So yeah, why should Halo win the vote?
Yeah. Because it's awesome and like the guns are really cool
Hang on,
and like
I need to add
massive
your
and
I need
like
to add your silly PNG tuber thing. There, you're in the corner.
I'm in the corner. Awesome. It should win because it has really fun gunplay and like I love the weapons. They're very cool. And you should it should totally win.
Yeah, but it should
Yeah.
lose. It should win against Roblox, so I don't have to need to add that awful game. But it should totally lose to Astroneer.
It should win
Nuh-uh.
everything.
And Astroneer should totally lose to Arc
Yeah,
Raiders.
especially
Jesus
beat
Christ.
Roblox, Overwatch, and
Look,
Marvel
all
Rivals.
I'm saying is there's a reason I put Overwatch and Marvel Rivals in the same spot. That way I didn't have to have either win. I'm gonna be honest. Like, at most, only
Damn.
one can win this. That's why I did that. So, like, they wouldn't be able to do anything else dangerous. I put them together, and I put them against Smash and Arc Raiders, because I put them on the competitive side, so I know that they won't get through. I'm gonna be honest, that's a little secret I did there. Um, look, all I'm saying is God, look, Astroneer sweep incoming. What do you guys? I know Kiki's rooting for Halo and Idlin's.
Let's see. Let's see this strength of schedule here.
I
Let me see here.
Also, I will say this. If y'all know, now that y'all know the secret, if we see people voting it just to piss us off, we will know.
we will know.
We have eyes everywhere.
But vote Halo because it's better than Roblox, a million times
Vote
better.
Astroneer because
That we
like
agree.
we like the look. All I'm saying is the idea of everyone having like little factions on the different planets trading resources around sounds amazing. Honestly, that sounds like an amazing experience. Like the Minecraft server style thing. Like I'd invest in that. I'm gonna be honest. I get enough money kind of to invest in a server for this. So like I'd be willing to invest in a server for the fine for Astroneer. I know that's bribery, but I never said I wasn't allowed to bribe people.
That's kind of.
Remember, Mary is a merchant. She has the money.
Actually,
Yeah, that makes
that
sense.
segues us to the next announcement. Pretend that was a cool animation.
Was not my plan, but hey, let's go with it.
Pretend that animation was smoother than me just rotating it then throwing it off the screen. Pretend that was actually a smooth animation. Here, Kiki, you can be here as a little guest. I'll put your head peeking in from the corner.
On my, I need to switch to my computer.
Your eyes are like
Fuck.
shifting around as you talk because I'm covering your eyes. It's really funny, actually. It's like you're just sneaking in here.
I'm just eyes now.
So yeah, I think Astroneer should win because bribery. Okay, yeah, look, Arc Raiders, Astroneer. What are you voting for, Clovis? What's your main thing you want to sweep?
um, so if I had to vote or try to sway people's votes as staff member, I would say vote for
Oh,
vote for either DF2 or vote for Stardew Valley.
yeah, that's fair.
There we go. I
All right.
live.
Well,
Ugh.
I'm going to make my next announcement. Firstly, one of for the longest time, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. For almost a tribute for them being the original first staff member, we had Jalustro as finest feline Jalustro as like almost a tribute role, giving them the feline fine role. It's like sweet thing to do for a limited amount of time, just because they were the first ever guild leader and they recently came back. But with some announcements by the Orb and the like, we've decided that they are now Ambassador Jalustrio, and they are taking the GMU role, meaning we now have a Grand Maritime Union guild leader. Okay.
And for context, GMU is the Grand Maritime Union in Sea of Thieves.
Yep. Most of our guild leaders are based off Sea of Thieves role. I mean, all of them are, quite literally. And this is the big one. This is the really big one. So, it's a shame we don't have a merchant guild leader anymore.
I thought you were.
About that. I quit.
She was.
I'm kidding. I don't quit. It would be funny if I just quit in the middle of the stream, right? It would just be funny if I quit the fun.
I saw your roles. I saw your roles change live.
It would be really funny if I just quit. Like, just said, like, oh no, someone else is in charge now. I quit. You guys are never seeing me in the fight again. No. No, I'm taking up the moniker of finest feline now. It's a whole thing. The goal is, not to... I quit, guys. No longer
You
tear
quit.
down this phone.
Sorry,
Sorry,
guys.
guys. Go home.
Go
Mary
home.
quit, guys. Tear down the feline fine poster. Mary betrayed us.
No,
I'm
no, no,
kidding.
no,
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 I'm
no.
taking the feline fine role. I'm the feline fine guild leader now. Just like in general, feline fine. And yes, this means we will be hiring a new merchant guild leader. Meaning we're going to have our 10th guild leader, which is actually going to be like trained in merchant stuff by me specifically. Like they're going to learn how I do things. They're going to learn how I do this. They're not going to be like the second in command of the fine or anything like that extreme. That still has its own like inner hierarchy of like who does what and who joined what. You know what I mean? It's important.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is in the future, we're going to be putting out announcements saying that we're looking for a Merchant Alliance guild leader. And that Merchant Alliance guild leader is going to be trained in some of my merchant ways as I become more of a overseer of the whole thing, looking at how things work and function. And I'm going to try and because I've been a merchant guild leader for what, over 2 years now. It's about time I swapped, and it's like Zhao's been back as the feline fine guild leader for over a year, so it's about time they changed to something else. This doesn't mean Zhao was the leader for that entire time or anything like that. It's just that they had that placeholder role as a tribute.
Yeah.
Now that is the second.
So now you're gonna get an
Yeah,
apprentice.
yeah, I guess I'm gonna get an apprentice. That is the third biggest announcement of the night. Now I was told to save this announcement for next. Kinda want to save it for last because this is like the biggest one on a personal scale. Business wise, it's good to do this one next. This is the biggest one in my opinion. This is the biggest announcement in general. First person in chat to say either do it now or last. First person to say either now or last in chat. They decide if it's now or last. Okay.
And that's
Yeah.
Bug.
Guess we're saving it for last.
I'm evil.
Okay, in the Sea of
evil.
Thieves regards of things, I'm going to do an announcement for this one. And like do a quick announcement saying this is the big update that this is the Sea of Thieves focused one that people really need to see if you're a Sea of Thieves fan. As you guys are aware, the guild has been down for maintenance. I don't know if you guys have noticed. A lot of people have definitely noticed that, like, if you've seen the add to guild thing, we haven't been paying full attention to your names. That is because we're taking a list of them, talking amongst ourselves of who wants to add who to what guild, and also opening soon to be like a public list of crews. That's right, crews for each ship. That includes a crew of the 47, a crew of the Depthbound, a crew of all of the ships of the guild leaders. We're going to get a more concrete list soon. We've got a few teasers to show you guys, though. Now, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't start with my own, nice and self-centered as I am. We all know me, known charity donor, one of the most selfish people ever known. Known charity donor, known sharer of power and fame. Me, one of the most selfish people, totally. This is the ad for the 47 crew. The goal of the 47 crew is to. Also, I see what you're doing, Smug. I know you're trying to get number one in the score thing. The goal of the 47 is more of a it's a warship in lore of what the Feline Find is. But the 47 in the Sea of Thieves is more just going on drives around to try and talk to people, explore new updates, occasional combat encounters, basically doing whatever, whenever, because this is the Feline Find flagship. Um, the idea is to be more of a ornate vessel, and that's what I intend to have it be. I don't have the photos I wanted to have some other ships because I have some of them, but I was kind of last minute on the whole asking people for photos thing. So I don't have the ones I want to have.
That and holidays got
Yeah,
in the
I'm
way.
gonna throw up our smuggler ship next because I have that one on hand, like the photo downloaded.
You also have
Yeah, I have
mine.
yours. I have yours, Ghosts, Doggos, and mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna string all of them up around the. This is the. I'm gonna butcher that name. Yeah, I know you're already spoken for in Deli's crew. Spoken for. I love that Teto song.
God damn
Whenever
it.
you find out your goat could be.
All right, I'm gonna put this. Doggo, I'm going to need your help. How do I pronounce this? You think this is your ship?
What do you mean you think, doggo? Oh,
What do you mean? What do you mean you never heard anyone say it?
what?
You never heard
Why
yourself?
might you name it that if you don't even know what that word
Okay,
is?
so we got Amp or Illos. Amp or Illos. That feels wrong. Well, nonetheless, it's our smuggler ship, and well, this is one of the most prime smuggler ships out there. I mean, it's smuggling the fact that it's a Dark Brethren ship in the side. I mean, what? Um, so we've got the 47, which is our all-around ship. The the Amporilos, which is our smuggler ship. But would you guys like to see a gold hoarder ship next, or yeah, I think so. I think you guys want to see a gold hoarder ship next. I say like there's any choice in the matter.
Eh,
Unfortunately, I'm already typing in gold hoarder and saving the PNG file, so there is no choice in the matter.
Oi.
All right, I'm going to put the image on the screen, and you can start yapping, Clovis.
Okay. Let's see.
This room's getting a bit cramped.
Hang on, I'm waiting for it to. There it is. Okay. So, the Eternal Eclipse. This is my ship right here, and this is the Fine's Gold Hoarder ship. However, much like her captain, which is Moa, she's something of a jack of all trades ship, as the idea is that the crew are, like Clovis in his lore, are meant to be mercenaries. True to the gold hoarder motto, they will do anything for the precious coin. So, members of this crew, we will do basically anything depending on like a crew vote. We can do voyages, raids, and while I'm not the best person at it, we will also do Hourglass, the PvP mode of, Sea of Thieves.
All right. I'm going to post Ghost ship here. Ghost has sadly not been able to make it with us here today. We're gathered here today in memory of Ghost. They have become a ghost. I'm kidding. Ghost is fine and totally safe.
Damn.
Now, what do you mean they're a ghost?
This is Twig's Triumph. I like Twig's Triumph. Actually, it's one of my favorite ships in the fight. I know I'm biased and all that. I mean, I'm the quite opposite of biased, considering what the most neutral parties. I actually do like Twig's Triumph quite a bit because it's based on the profile picture from the thing. It's based on the profile picture that Ghost always uses of Twig, which is a fox deer thing. Um, I don't know much about it. It's our Athena's Fortune ship, so I imagine it's gonna be doing Athena's Fortune voyages and Hourglass. Um, it's a very pretty boat. I've played Hourglass with Ghost. They are definitely capable of taking good reigns in Hourglass. Now I'm gonna give some lore on the 47 because that segues into things. The 47 is actually formerly the boat of French Grand Admiral Pierre Gilliand, which is the canonical Grand Admiral in a certain, well, the lore the Feline Find takes place in. And, well, there's a lot of lore differences between the Feline Find Sea of Thieves, like the Sea of Thieves Feline Find, the Sea of Thieves Mary Swiftclaw, and the canonical Mary Swiftclaw. There are a lot of differences. For instance, in the Sea of Thieves Mary Swiftclaw, she kind of stuck because of the shroud. Meanwhile, in this one, in the actual book, she's stuck in a set of place at first because of survival, and then because of debt, and then because of not knowing the outside world being a whole thing. Now, why am I talking about the differences between canonical Mary and Sea of Thieves Mary? Well, the Feline Find isn't. It's the Feline Find isn't. It doesn't exist, guys. Go home. See, no logos. No, the Sea of Thieves, the Feline Find isn't a thing I made for Sea of Thieves because I've had the group in mind for a long time. Obviously, stuff in the Feline Find that happened has definitely influenced the writing, and I said that magical word, writing. The 47 is the canonical boat of Mary Swiftclaw in my upcoming novel, Swiftclaw's Antiquity, Feline Find. Now, I don't know when this is going to release, but this is like my life's work coming to fruition here. This is years upon years of writing, rewriting, and the like. I can make a promise that it'll be out before 2029. It'll be out before 2029. I can promise you that. 2028 is my personal deadline of getting this out. And this is my life's work. This is the biggest announcement of the night. This means you're going to learn the canonical origins of Mary Swiftclaw. You're going to learn the canonical origins of the actual 47 and see like the major differences between the 47 in lore and the 47 in Sea of Thieves. Because I've been talking about that briefly throughout the night, how stark the differences are. I've spoken in great detail to the staff team about the actual lore, like the actual lore of Mary, the actual lore of all of that, and like they can attest that it's well written. Can I get like your guys' brief reviews of like Mary's story without spoilers? Because you guys know the basic details.
It's good.
Clovis?
Oh, oh. Hang on. I'm trying to find an example real quick.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I haven't gone in full detail. This is This is a saga, I will say. It's not just going to cover Mary's story. It's going to cover characters such as Athena, the cat, and Athena, the eventual descendant of Mary.
Kitty.
Yeah. There's kitties in it. You can pet the cat in this hit book. There will be petting of the cat in this hit book.
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
the entire saga is actually. I've been writing this saga since I was like. How old was I in 2018? Since I was 12 years old, I've been working on this story. 12 years old, I've been working on this story, and it's like my life's work, and it's actually coming to a stage where I can see the first book being done before the end of the decade. And that's huge, actually. That's like genuinely. It puts me to tears when I look at it and I see the state it's in. because when I first looked at this, it was just the story of some guy, some posh noble named Jergo Newell, and his like very, very clearly plagiarized story that was basically just. I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure it was just my Skyrim playthrough put into words. It was a very lazy story at first, but the way it's evolved, the way things have changed, like I don't think I don't think a single character is even remotely the same as they were when they were first conceptualized. Like every single one of these characters are starkly different than who they were when I started writing them. The characters have shifted so much, and genuinely, it is so hard to put into words like how important this book is to me, and how excited I am uh to release this book. That's the big announcement I wanted to say to the end of the night, because I know a lot of people do know I was writing this, but I never put into words when it's going to be released. And now that there's a title reveal and a release window, it's probably at minimum it's going to release in 2027, but I think 2028 is a lot more likely.
Yeah.
But this saga has been my life's work for a long time now, so I couldn't think of a better thing to close off the night with. And a little bit of advertisement for the 47 crew. That is the canonical ship from the book, and though it functions differently, it's a very special boat to me. Now, I don't have much else to say about this whole thing because I've been obviously things haven't gone exactly the plan. If I would have had everything set up as I wanted to, there would have been like cinematic teasers, but we all know me kind of thinking too big for the budget, you know? As in the budget of nothing. Because I thought I'd have more money left over from Christmas shopping. I did not. I wasn't able to like get the things I wanted to get done for uh commercials. Yeah, there's always the next broadcast, which is probably going to be more network wide. But this has been the first broadcast, and well, I hope you enjoy it. I will be posting a summary of events. In other words, I'm probably going to get the team together to write a summary of announcements, and we're going to publish that just for the people who didn't see the direct. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to the things coming out in the coming years. The crew system goes live, well, as soon as I can get the. Okay. The first 4 crews are going to go live right away, and the other ones are going to release as people are ready to release their ships, and people are ready for their crews to be open. So for now, the ones you see on screen are going to be open, and those of you who are already in Delhi's crew, I'm going to have to move you to the second guild because we have a whole 2 guild system. But we're going to be adding these. We're going to be adding these crews on an incline on a cycle. There's not going to be a set date for them. It's just going to be. We're going to release them in due time as they're ready to be released. Now, I suppose uh, I'll be sending off the stream. So I'm going to be leaving the call on my computer for the group. That way I can be in the proper call on my phone while we have this nice little outro so the stream can catch up.
Yeah.